Hi everybody, welcome back to Laughing Mountain Living.
We've got a fun one for you guys today. We're going to finish making that handle for our radius grinding fixture. So hope you enjoy.
Bye for now.
Get her done. Well, okay, so I dished both of these sides out, partly just for fun, partly to keep the weight down a little bit.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, it kind of looks a little cool, I guess, eh? But I lost all the footage of that for the most part, so you're going to see just a little snippet of it, but I really wanted to explain how it was I was doing this. And so before we carry on with moving forwards with this, I'm going to make a little mock setup. I'm not actually going to cut this anymore because it's done, but I'm going to make a little mock setup just to show you guys what method I use to actually do this and what procedure.
Okay.
So once I decided where I wanted the outside and inside of this thing to be, I used the boring bar and scribed lines at the dimensions I wanted. And then basically what I did was I used the compound rest here to feed it down this angle. And I would go in, not too far, just enough so that when I then came across with my cross slide, so here, I'll get closer. So I came in a little like this, and then I would make a cut across, and then I would stop at that other line. Then I would come back, come in a little like this, and come across. So I kept doing that till I got close to the bottom here. And then when I was close to down there, what I did was I stopped the lathe, I put it in reverse. And with it spinning backwards, I came over here and then finished cleaning this up until it blended at the bottom. And of course I had all my dials set up so I had zeros where I could stop so I didn't leave some big silly transition anywhere. So that's how I got that dish in there.
Pretty dish. Put fruit in there.
Okay, so we're all set up. We're cleaned up. I've got my compound rest at 45 degrees. I've got a boring bar in there that will clear. So I can come in, I can come across the bottom. I still am going to have to step the far side, and then what we'll do is in the end we'll turn the compound rest 45 degrees the other way, and then again we talked about the clearance in here. We can use any tool we want to finish the inside and blend it to the flat bottom.
All right.
So I'm going to take a few passes at that. This tool cuts much more freely than that last one we looked at. Much less tool pressure. So working on making this new handle for my radius grinding fixture. Most of the lathe work is done, but what I want is some nice radius rounded corners on here so it's nice in your hand, and I don't have a tool for that, so I'm just going to grind the radius I want into this tool bit here. And judging from previous tool and cutter grinding videos, it's not necessarily everybody's favorite thing, so I spared you guys all the setup and all the math behind it. And so we're basically ready to cut. I'm just going to get some shots of the actual grinding of this, and then we'll get this back in the lathe, we'll get the tool in the lathe, and we'll put those radiuses on there. This bolt is just a temporary keeper. I had trouble finding a set screw with a 3/8 fine thread on it locally here, so I'll probably just cut this bolt off to an appropriate length, grind a slot in it for a slotted screwdriver, and that's how I'll tighten the handle onto this thread.
How's that?
Yeah, it's kind of working. I just got to dress my wheel up a little bit.
Woo, that's loud. Oh, look at the pretty sparkles. Did a little wheel dressing. Yeah.
Oh.
I do.
Okay, so I've got my radius cut.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Now I've got a little discoloration here from the heat, a little bit over here, a little bit on top. So I'm just going to knock that off. I have a wire wheel on my grinder, one of my bench grinders that has 3 thou diameter, 2 or 3 thou diameter stainless wire bristles. Does a really good job of knocking color off without knocking the sharpness off.
Awesome.
So there's our convex radius cutter. I stopped just shy of 90 degrees because I don't want any transition lines when I put the radius on this handle. So let's go take a look at what I'm going to do with this.
And they're in there.
So I'm just making sure everything's tight and everything clears. It does. And I did all this dishing with my compound rest at 45 degrees. That's just what I chose to do for these angles here and here. I've got it back to 29.5 degrees. And if anyone knows why I would do that, just for fun, say so in the comments. I need my little brush. Pretty crappy finish on there. That's going to need some cleaning up with a emery cloth. In an earlier video, we looked at why we wouldn't want to be doing this job with these jaws, and it's just because there just isn't many teeth engaged. But for emerying this, I'm going to go ahead and use these because I don't mind, this would be way back here. It's kind of hard to explain right now, but my fingers couldn't just get eaten like this or something.
Yeah.
Because that would suck.
That would suck. Ouch.
You see the lathe's really struggling at that low speed to maintain RPM. Pretty big cut for this. Something to be said about the old school lathe where the motor was just on and just going, and as you slowed the machine down, you were gaining leverage, strength, power the whole time because the motor would still be spinning wide open, but the spindle would be turning slowly. And I think these new electronic speed control motors, they really seem to struggle at the slow speeds. So I got to clean this up. Got some chatter there, gross. But I'm gonna emery all that off and pretty this thing up a little bit, and then it'll be done.
Beautiful.
So since I'm gonna have my hands in here with this spinning fast, I want it clearly not there. I want it, as far out as I can get it. So I'm gonna try this. I'm hoping this works. I just have a couple of pretty accurate round just pieces of stainless lying around, and I'm gonna see if I can use them to get this thing running pretty true, but not held on by much. Oh, good. Assuming they come out of there, yeah. Snug that down pretty good. I don't have a lot of teeth engaged with the scroll, maybe 2. That's why I didn't machine it like this in the first place. But let's see how true it runs. Pretty happy with that. Check it out from the side.
Yeah, looks good.
So lots is sticking out. I want to explain a few things. I mean, it's not uncommon for machinists to have their hands in around the chuck of a lathe. I mean, here's an example. This is the only way you're going to do this. So there are some real do's and don'ts, though. There's so many tools in the world. They say don't push tool, like an angle grinder. You never push an angle grinder. You always pull an angle grinder so it can't kick back at you and stuff. Well, it's similar to this. So I would never push on my emery cloth because these things are coming around, and you can just imagine. I mean, so if you're pulling and a jaw comes around and you hit it, it just kind of bounces you off. It doesn't, fold your knuckles up and stuff. So I hope I'm explaining that right. Never push because super bad things could happen. Always pull because you would just get kicked out of the way as things came around.
Good advice.
So another thing I like to do is brace myself. I don't know if you can see, but I've got my leg right up against the chip tray of the machine so that I'm just stabilizing my whole body. I don't want to fall into that. Sleeves are rolled all the way up, and I'm going to support or hold the emery cloth with one hand. That's going to do all the pulling, and this hand is just going to massage it around. And I feel this is about the safest way to do this.
Scares me. I'd never do it. I'm chicken and clumsy.
Yeah. While I'm at it, I'm just going to give this a little shine up inside here.
Ooh, very nice.
I mean, I'm not going to polish it and go all crazy. I'm happy with that. For what I'm doing, it feels good to me. It doesn't look bad anymore. And it's not perfect yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side. Changed my mind. I spun it, and this side still has the chatter. I'm not going to live with that. So we're going to emery this till that chatter on this side's gone. It got a little deeper on the one side than the other for some reason. And look at, there's a scratch there. Gouge. It'd be nice to have that gone. So we're going to go ahead and keep working on that a bit. Now I'm happy. Chatter's all gone altogether. Most of the gouges are gone. That's enough. We'll get the other side now. So here's this side. I mean, there's still a little dirt in there, but here's this side. It's all polished up, emeryed up. And here's the side where we still have some chatter to get rid of. And we could do some emery work in here and make that a lot prettier. Sort of a before. Oh, sorry.
Let's stop. Stop moving it.
Okay, this would be before.
Chattery mess.
And not shiny.
And not shiny.
And here the chatter's gone. It's shiny.
Oh, it's so shiny.
So we're going to fix this side up now, and then this will basically be done. So here it is. It's all cleaned up and a little bit shined up and ready to go. Back where it belongs. Now I just have to turn this bolt into a little set screw to fasten this down, to jam it against the shaft, and this will be done. But I'm not doing that today, so for today I'm just going to stick this bolt back in, jam it against the shaft, and now my handle is doing its job. When it comes to the metalwork, though, we both got to feel it.
Should have figured it out.
So I guess, all right. Well, that's it for today's show, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope maybe you saw something you haven't seen before, or maybe learned something you didn't know before. And I'm going to say peace out for today.
And if you like, please, nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Take.
So that's it for today's show, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe you saw something you haven't seen before, or learned something you didn't know before. And for this time, I'm going to say peace out.
And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you didn't, please like, share, and subscribe.
Don't forget to do your metal
Work.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.